very, very different opening day.
Awesome.
Everyone's got a good attitude now.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about public education. Public education, you know, in October
Right.
were the Democrats.
That's right.
I think there's a whole bunch of rhinos in the House right now because they turned into Democrats.
That's right.
It's like Democratic language everywhere. You know, Speaker Bonin. I mean, Dan Patrick said he's going to give $5,000 to teachers. Everybody. Dan Patrick. Do y'all remember those commercials, him on the back of that old school pickup talking about public education? After everything he did the previous session, now he says he wants to give $5,000 to teachers. He wants to take the easy road out. Instead of truly defining and going after public school education finance formulas, which haven't been updated in far, far too long. When they were last updated was, I believe, 1991. You know, especially English language learners, the formula for them, which have increased exponentially, hasn't been adjusted. So he doesn't want to get into the weeds. He just wants to say, let me just give $5,000 to teachers and we'll be done with it. Because he wants Democrats to say no to that so that we can look like the bad guys. But we're not going to get fooled. And y'all need to help us make sure that the rest of Texas, like y'all have here in Northeast Texas, Northeast Tarrant County, and making sure that some of our friends who are Republicans don't get fooled. We have to do that. The freshman class is incredible. In my freshman class, there were 22 members, and there was 2 Democrats. Me and Cesar Blanco. And while I love Cesar Blanco, that is a very small class of Democrats. 17 new Democrats. 17. 12 of them, many of you might have called for or gotten involved or know personally in one way or another. And they're incredible. I'm on a hallway that has 5 new Democrats, the freshman Democrats on my hallway alone. John Busey is right across from me. He comes over all the time. Bowers out of Dallas comes over all the time. Busey spends more time with me because he knows I got the alcohol. I'm kidding. I'm just real close to the craft brewers. Something a lot of folks aren't talking about was, you know, Speaker Bonin and our strategy kind of to hold all the Democrats together. And a lot of you guys probably read about that or talked about it. I'll give you a little bit of insight. We really had an opportunity to determine exactly who the new Speaker of the House was going to be. Had all of us 67 Democrats held together, we would have chosen that person. We would have been able to negotiate with that Speaker and maybe gotten a little bit more, kind of ensured what chairmanships, how we were going to divide up those chairmanships, what key committees we wanted, how we would be on conference committee, legislative budget board, so many things that we could have negotiated, and it fell apart. Fell apart at the last minute because unfortunately there is a belief that you want to be right when you pick the Speaker. You want to be on the Speaker's team. You don't want to be that person out on the outside looking in. I'm one of those people that was on the outside looking in. I refused to pick a Speaker early on, especially because of the hard work that it led up to November the 6th. And I was not ready to immediately just usher somebody in that week, that's soon after. And it really disappointed a lot of that freshman class. They thought they were going to come into just a cohesive unit, and unfortunately it wasn't as cohesive as we would have liked. And I think it's just because, in the end, a lot of folks still want to protect the work that they've done in previous sessions. So I had to tell a lot of my Democratic freshmen, look, I know you want to be mad, I'm mad too, but you can only be so mad. Because at the end of the day, 2 weeks from now, a month from now, we're going to have to get over this, and we're going to have to work with Dennis Bonin, and we just need to pray that he's going to be the best Speaker that we can get. And guess what, folks? The guy's been there since he was 24 years old. He's 47 years old now. And unless he's been lying out of his teeth since he got there, he's been saying all the right things. He's taken every single one of us. One of the things he said in his speech is that I want to talk to every single one of you. And I want you guys to come in my door. I want you to walk in my door. My door is always going to be open. And if it's not open, kick it in. You have a right to be in the Speaker's office. He also told us that he wanted us to be responsible in getting to know each other, and not getting to know just on each other's names, but also getting to know each other on a personal basis and knowing some of the things that have impacted our lives from our own communities, from our counties, from our cities. And he has that super high expectation of us. Sounds a lot like a Democrat. I hope that the members of the legislature, I don't care right now about where we were, Democrat or Republican, as long as we get the work done.
Right.
I believe, because in 2020, we are going to flip the Texas House of Representatives. This is the only chance for people like Dennis Bonnen to create a legacy for themselves.
Right.
If Dennis Bonnen and the other Republicans in the House want something to pat themselves on the back for, and we properly fund public education, and that's something that everybody's going to be able to go home and pat themselves on the back for that, that is going to be an incredible accomplishment. And because they're going to lose in 2020, that's probably going to be one of their very few accomplishments. We are going to have problems with the budget between the Senate and the House budget. We're about $4 billion apart right now. Some of us want to dip into the $15 billion savings account. I'm sure you guys have heard or read, we've got about $9 billion more than what we expected based upon Comptroller Hager's report, our estimated budget. That's why we're taking public education seriously. That's why we're going to be able to do the right thing by the people of Houston and Harvey. We've got a lot of opportunities here. But they're going to fight about it. There's going to be lots of smoke and mirrors. So the love and the kumbaya that's going on, I don't know how long it's going to last. I think it's incumbent upon all of us members right now to make sure that we try to make it last as long as we possibly can.